If you would, please offer to me a moment of your time to share with you a story that I share with a client of mine, 33-year-old client of mine, and it really represents a question that I get a lot. It's my hope that what I share with her will empower you the way it certainly helped her. She's 33. She's been single for 2 years. She said, "Doc, I have a lot of anxiety about meeting someone. I know we're supposed to be happy single and happy with ourselves, but I'm looking at the clock, I'm looking at life and just wondering if I'm ever meant to be with someone." I said, "This is very normal and natural, but let me share this with you." I said, "Tell me what your definition of content means." She said, "As in contentment?" I said, "Correct." She said, "Typically when a person is content, that means they are satisfied." I said, "That's a big part of it." I said, "But let's go a little bit deeper. When I was in undergrad and I lived with my parents during the summer and I was in college and I would come home some occasional weekends, one of the things I noticed my father did every Sunday is he filled up every single car at his house for the week, including my car before I got on the road." I said, "When I was younger, I did not understand that. I would just get gas as I drove it and needed it, but he always wanted to start the week off full." I said, "But now that I'm older, I understand why he did that." I said, "If you go to the gas station and your gas tank is already full and you attempt to put gas in it, what happens?" She said, "Is that possible?" I said, "It absolutely is." I said, "But what will happen if you try?" She said, "Well, I would imagine the gas is going to come out of the nozzle and maybe even out of the car." I said, "You're correct. And it's going to spill out down to the ground because that gas tank is already full. It can't take any more gas, and anything that's added to it is an attempted bonus. It's not necessary." She said, "Oh, okay, I know where we're going." I said, "Let's just finish the example." To be content means three things. It means you are happy, you are full, and you are satisfied. When you say you're content, you're saying you're happy, you're saying you're full, and you're saying you're satisfied. So then, if you are content and you're happy, that means you're the car that has a full tank of gas. And because you've got a full tank of gas, you are okay with the current state that you're in. And I mean okay to the point where you're not looking for another driver, you're not needing another driver, because you're happy with who you are and what you have become. She said, "Wow." I said, "It's going to get better." I said, "If you're content, that also means you're full, which means you have so much gas inside of you that it does not need any more gas, which means you have filled yourself up so much, you have worked on yourself so much that you really don't even need to be connected to someone." I said to her, I said, "One of the biggest indicators you're going to know you are ready for someone is if you truly and sincerely feel like you don't need anybody." She said, "Wow." I said, "Yeah, let's look at the third one though. The third level of contentment means you're satisfied, which simply means you're okay. You're okay if you get a driver that comes and uses your gas. You're okay if you're parked in the parking lot or the driveway and nobody ever touches you." I said, "Understand, this level of contentment is critical because people think that being connected with others is going to make them the happiest they've ever been. When really, as a single person, you must understand that the happiest you will ever be is when you are by yourself. Because anytime you introduce another driver into the equation, you bring with them their problems. You bring with them their challenges. You bring with them their issues. And so if we are not completely satisfied and happy with where we are and who we are, then we attempt to bring people into our lives to fill us up in the areas where we're missing." She was blown away. She said, "Doc, this is insane." I said, "I want to take it a step further." I said, "You're probably wondering, how do I get to a place where I'm okay not being with anybody or connected to anybody?" I said, "You've got to do the work on you." And I said, "I know it sounds cliche, but understand, Every single day, you should be working on those 5 areas of your life that bring you to wholeness and being healed. Meaning, you need to work on your emotional stability, your mental stability, your spiritual stability, your physical stability, and your financial stability. These should be things you work on a daily basis. I said, but let's take this deeper. Understand that just because your tank isn't on full doesn't mean you can't have a relationship. I said, in your car, you got that little needle thing that goes from E to F, and it's got all of these markers in the middle. She said, right, the gas thing. I said, exactly. I said, can you drive the car if it's on halfway full? She said, of course. I said, you absolutely can, correct? It'll drive like it normally does, correct? She said, yeah. I said, let me ask you a question. If a car is halfway full, can that car drive further than the same car that's full to the top? She thought about it. She started laughing. She said, of course not. I said, that's what it feels like when you are full, whole, and complete. There are levels to being full. And the reality of the matter is, a tank that's halfway full is not going to go as far as a tank that's filled to the top, which means it's okay you spent the last 2 years doing some work on you. It's okay you spent the last 2 years being a better person and working on those 5 different areas of your life. But I'm here to tell you, if you are tired of being single, then you should stay single, because it's a good chance that your needle isn't all the way on the F, but it's trying to make its way there, which means you are not happy and content enough with your life to be so okay with where you are that if you never get a driver, if nobody ever moves you out of the driveway, that you're so okay and content with your life that you can be satisfied for the rest of your life. Because here's the reality. There's a good chance you may not meet someone. There's a good chance you may never get married. So the question is simple. Are you happy and content enough with who you are? Is your tank so close to the F mark that if nobody ever comes your way, nobody ever decides to drive you, because when people drive us, they take gas out of us, which is why it's so important that we get refilled. If nobody ever drives you, are you so okay with where you are that you are content to being stuck where you are with who you are, regardless of if a driver comes? And if the answer to that question is no, you ought to stay single until the gas nozzle is on full. I hope this made sense. If it did, type church in the comments with 3 R's. And then remember, you've got 2 jobs. 1, be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you.